Alright, so next up on the list is the Hyundai Santa Fe. So what we got going in the Hyundai Santa Fe is, for one, a new radio. He's getting this guy here, the 2330 NEX, and then we're gonna put in a P312. Now this is where this car gets interesting. This is actually 2018. They really don't make anything for 2018. There's a harness for 2017. This little guy here is the reverse harness input, and then we have these two here. Now these are the old harnesses. These are what were on a 2015, 16, and then the antenna is just a standard antenna. Now located down here, as with all Hyundais and Kia, there's a cool USB auxiliary adapter with a plug right here. To interface the radio, we're going to be using the BHA 7304, which is this harness here. We're going to use the SWIRC, and then Pack Audio makes a Hyundai retention that allow us to keep the USB and aux. And then for the backup camera, this guy right here, the CRTTA01, is a backup retention for a Toyota. This plug will fit in the car. These wires have nothing to do with this car, but this plug will fit. So we're gonna take this plug, pull these out, repin it, so we can then use it in the Santa Fe to keep the backup camera. Now, keep in mind, we don't know if this cable works. We're hoping that these will work. We know that this harness will plug in, but we don't know if any of these wires actually go to where they're supposed to go. There's a good possibility that this stuff will. Like, we know that the wiring that they're calling for on a 2014-15 is the same wiring that is in the car now, so there's a good chance it will. But the first things first, we need to figure out how to retain the factory backup camera. This is a real popular question you guys often ask us, how do we do this? So right now, we're gonna get into the car and we're gonna figure out the pin configuration on this. Now the first thing we want to do is go ahead and depin our wires from here. This guy right here, this is a 12 to 6 volt power inverter, so that's cool. This car is definitely going to need one of those, so we've got this here. What we want to do is figure out which one of these is power and ground first before we go ahead and depin it, and then we're going to go ahead and depin the signal out of here as well. Now we'll check the instructions to see if we get lucky and they tell us if the colors are positive or negative. And they don't, so cool there. We'll just do a simple continuity test between ground and these two. Alright, so it might be the orange. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and hook up power and ground to it, just to test. Voltmeter to DC. So we think orange might be ground. Alright, so that looks right. Let's go back here. Alright, so orange is definitely ground on this harness. And it's put on about 5.7 volts. Hopefully that'll be enough to power up this camera, which is a 6 volt camera, we think. We'll know that in a couple minutes too. Let's get in the car, bring our stuff, let's get some tools. Let's go check this stuff out. So we're gonna need two tools for this. We're gonna need a digital multimeter, and we're also gonna need our test screen, this guy right here. You can use any monitor you want. You're just gonna need a monitor. Hey, could you put it in reverse for me real quick? All right, so it's in reverse. Our screen is on. So what we have to do is find out what these 5 wires are. For the camera, we need at least 4 wires. We need a signal, a shield, power, and ground to power the camera, and then there's a reverse, hopefully somewhere in here, but there again, who knows, that might be data. So what we want to do is we're going to start testing voltage. So we're going to go ahead and put our meter to DC. We're going to put one side to the chassis ground here, then we're going to start probing to see if we get any voltage. Now there's a yellow wire here, this first yellow wire, that's giving us 6 volts, which is what we figured there'd be at least one 6 volt in here because most of these cameras are powered off 6 volts. Nothing there. Now this next one, this is a red-black. This one is actually giving us 12 volts. What we want to do is, since we know that the camera more than likely is going to be 6 volts, there should be no reason to have 12 volts in this plug. It might be the reverse wire. So let's go ahead and throw it into neutral and put it back in reverse. And there you go. That one is actually the reverse output. So we have a nice 12 volt reverse output. That's going to be the red black wire right there. Since most manufacturers like to put things in pairs, or very rarely do they put like things really far away, and since there's only 5 wires here, what I'm thinking is that this black orange next to this yellow is probably going to be my 6 volt ground. So we'll go ahead and we're going to try that just to see, and there we go. We get a nice 6 volt positive. Now if we switch it, it does give us a -6 volts, which we don't want, so that we know that on this harness, this yellow one, which is in pin 2, and this black orange in pin 3 are gonna be our power and ground. So we've established what 3 of the 5 already are. So that's probably gonna mean that these last 2, we're gonna take our camera tester and we'll go ahead and we'll stick with what we think black is negative. And there we go. We get our camera. Now for giggles, we'll go ahead and try it the opposite way. And here's what you get the opposite way. So if you get something that looks like this, chances are good you're on the right track. That means that pins 3 and 4 on the top, which is black and red, are our RCAs. So we got all these parts here for the harness. Let's go ahead and put these together. We'll start with 3 and 4, which is the camera, which are right here. And then 2 is going to be positive, and then 3 on the bottom is going to be negative. All right, so we can go ahead and plug that in. Now we'll go ahead and plug our camera tester in. What we want to do is check and see if this works. For that, we're going to take our wire probes here. We're going to go to the radio's power and ground. We'll go ahead and feed this a power and ground, and there we go. So now we have a harness that will power up our backup camera. Now the only thing that is left is this yellow black wire is the reverse trigger. This only came with 4 wires, so we now have to figure out a way to create a 5th wire, or we could easily just reach around and tap into this if we need to, which we're going to try to avoid. Let's call this a win for right now. Let's go over to the bench and let's take a look at the harness and see if there's any wires that look anything like this in the harness that we may or may not need. And also, let's figure out if we can get the steering wheel controls to work. Let's go ahead and grab our main harness here. Grab our steering wheel control interface. So anytime you're doing an SWRC, the first thing you're gonna grab out is a stack of paper. Just go ahead and set those aside. Pull your harness out of the box. Set your resistors aside. You may or may not need those. Leave this turned upside down and just go ahead and set that. What we wanna do is go through our big stack of papers first. The first one is going to be the actual car. It should look just like this. For this, we're gonna go ahead and turn to Hyundai. And we know there's no 2018 Hyundai in here. We did the research before we started this. We know it's not here, but what is here is the Santa Fe, and we're gonna go up to the 2014. And what we did is when we pulled the radio out, we checked to see if the wiring for this matched up to the wiring that was listed for this particular one, and it was. Now this is gonna be a version 8, and as always we write version on the back so we know. It says note 311. It says we're gonna use the white wire, and for factory we're going to use pin 4 and 17. Now pin 4 and 17, this is what's really cool about the Hyundai plug. That's these guys right here. They're actually pinned in the factory harness plug. Very rarely does this happen. I don't know how this slipped through the crack that they actually did this, but I wish they'd do it on all of them. Let's go to note 311. That's going to be in the next fat bundle of papers, and it's going to look like this. So we want to go to note 311, which is almost the last page. We'll come down here. And note 311 says, so we have pin 4 that's going to be blue on the factory, and pin 17 is going to be gray on the factory. And that's going to be in these 2 wires here. So now all we need to do is go back into the car and plug this harness in and see which one is blue and which one is gray. All right, so we'll go ahead and unplug the radio at this point. All right, so blue is going to be this green orange, and gray is going to be black, which means we're not going to be using this blue pink wire here, which might be good. We might be able to use that to repin into this. Let's go try that. All right, so it's a little bit longer than our other ones. Let's go see if it plugs in. It does plug in successfully. So now this blue pink wire that we went ahead and took off the harness, this will be our reverse trigger. All right, so let's go ahead and wire up the steering wheel controls to that harness and see if we can program them. All right, so the instructions said we need white, black, and then of course we're gonna need red and black for power to this thing. So we're not gonna need any of the other stuff. So that means we don't need green, we don't need orange, and we don't need yellow, and we don't need blue. And then on white, we just need straight up white. So we're not gonna need the white black, and we're not gonna need the white red. Now if you're just curious about what white black and white red means, if you go to this little tiny piece of paper right here, it's all right here. Now there's 2 black wires in these, and those are there, and they're just wide off. That's there because some steering wheel controls need a ground, so they've wide off the ground so that you don't have to do that. Alright, so now the only other 2 wires we need to hook up is accessory and ground. Go ahead and spread those apart. Go ahead and tap those in. Now we also need to add in the accessory ground for the camera. We'll go ahead and we'll just add these all in at the same time. Now what we need to do is set this up for Pioneer. For that, we're gonna go ahead and grab this guy right here that has this cool pack logo in the corner, open it up, turn to page 2, and right here at the top, we're doing a Pioneer, which is 7. So that's this dial here on the side. We'll go ahead and turn that to 7. And we'll go ahead and bring this in the car with us because what we want is on page 3, which are the programmable features for setting this up. So on the unit, there's a little push button right here. And what that does is every time you push this, it illuminates this LED right here. So now we can go ahead and take this into the car and see if we can get it to respond to steering wheel controls. And we'll go ahead and plug it in. Now what we have to do is hold this button here while we turn the ignition on. Turn the ignition on, it's gonna light up a solid red. Now we're gonna hit it 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That corresponds to the 8 we wrote on the back. Now this light should blink 8 times. Now if you didn't catch it, no problem. Turn the ignition off, turn it back on. Every time you turn on the ignition, it will reflash the LED the number of times it's programmed. So in this case, it should flash 8. There we go, 8. So now what we want to do is go ahead and to initiate programming, we're just going to hit the button on the side. It's going to go solid like this. We should be able to hit volume up, volume down, and then we have mute. And then we have track, mode, channel up, channel down, band, phone menu, answer, hang up, VR. And then when it's done, it's gonna flash out. It's gonna do a bunch of flashing like this. And then we should be able to go ahead and press the buttons. And it does, if it lights up like it's lighting up, we've gone ahead and more than likely programmed it successful. Obviously, we're gonna have to wait till we plug it into the radio to make sure, but at least it's responding, so that's a good thing. So now what we wanna do is go over to the bench, power up the radio, and plug in what we think is the correct Hyundai harness for this so we can see if the USB and the aux work. All right, so let's go ahead and get this radio out of the box. All right, so we have our radio powered up and we just plugged in our auxiliary adapter. That totally sucks. All right, so we have it plugged in and guess what? Whack, whack, whack. We get no functionality from the radio to this. It's a total bummer. So that means that this harness is not gonna work. We're gonna have to go ahead and come up with a plan B. Plan B. Plan B is doing away with this altogether. The customers decided to add the Media Links cable. Now for those of you that don't know what Media Links are, so Media Links is an HDMI on one end and a regular yellow, red, white on the other. So he wants to add an HDMI to this. So what we're going to do is instead of using this guy, we're gonna router this out and we're gonna go ahead and add this guy right here, which is the Pack Audio HDMI-USB-CBL. So this is an HDMI and a USB all in one housing. What we're gonna end up with is this guy is gonna sit here like this, and that way he'll just be able to plug in here instead of having this cable hanging out and then this flush and not using the aux. That is the plan now. What we have to do is we're going to router this shape out of some 1/2 inch so that it will then go back into here, and of course drill a hole in that for this. So the first thing I want to do is actually drill the hole. I don't want to take off any more than necessary to get this thing to fit because this is going to be super tight. All right, that's perfect. All right, this will be test 1. Let's see how we do. All right, there we go. So we've gone ahead and done it. I mean, there was just a hair on either side. Go ahead and put the nut on the back. Then we just have to file it down a little bit so that it's no bigger than this. All right, so this one is all done. We'll set this aside and now we'll move on to the wiring harness and the dash kit. we're good on the one harness. We know that we have power ground, the steering wheel controls. We know this works the way it's supposed to, so we're good there. What we don't know is this guy over here, is if these speaker wires or this other stuff, if there's even wires on the other side of this. Let's go ahead and take this into the car with a tone generator and see what's going on. Now, looking at the blue and the orange wire, there's definitely wires on the other side of that, so we'll go ahead and hook those up. But what we want to check and see is if there's an amplifier in here or what's going on there. So we have our tone generator. Awesome. Really all you need to do is test a front and a rear. You don't need to test all of them. Okay, cool. But I do recommend testing the front and the rear because some cars actually amplify the rear speakers and use the radio to power the front speakers. Sounds crazy, but some manufacturers do that. So always test both front and rear. Now let's get over to the bench. Let's get this thing wired up. So what I'm gonna do first is I want to extend this wire that is the reverse trigger. I'm gonna put a purple on it and extend it out to the lengths of the rest of the wires. Now other than that, the harness is gonna be a pretty much basic hookup. You have blue, you have orange. Those are gonna be your amp turn on and or power antenna turn on. In this case, I'm thinking it's probably the amplified antenna turn on. And the orange is gonna be our illumination. All the other wires are gonna match up color for color. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get this wired up. I'll be back in a second. All right, so our harness is all set and ready to go. Steering wheel controls integrated. We have our 2 plugs for the radio, our 1 plug for the backup camera. This is gonna plug into the back of the radio. We have our remote turn on output for the sub we're putting in. Steering wheel controls. So this is all set, ready to go. One last thing we have to do is build the dash kit. So of course it comes with a cool instruction manual. Let's tell you how to get out. You pull the left and right air vents and they're a pain in the butt. Need a panel tool to do it for sure. After that, the radio pops right out. Now this kit is awesome in that these are going to attach onto here. This is one whole piece, so that's going to be good in that we don't have to screw the radio in and keep turning it, plugging it in, the whole, you know, fit, test fit. So let's screw this together. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add a piece of 1/8" foam to the top and bottom of the radio so that you don't see any gapping with the metric kit. Much better. Alright, cool. We have this all centered up. Good to go. Let's go ahead and get into the car and start plugging things in. Alright, so we've gone ahead and removed the back radio support we don't need, and of course the bottom radio support, we don't need that either. That's just going to get in the way of what we're trying to do. Now what we want to do is go ahead and get our harnesses plugged in. So we have the radio just kind of sitting in the dash. Let's go ahead and turn it on, get this thing set up, and start testing everything. Alright, camera works. Climb up. Track up. Mode. What's the weather like today?
It's currently clear.
So we have the subwoofer on the passenger side of the car because he uses this side. It's the bigger side. He wanted to be able to fold it up and down so he can move it pretty much anywhere he wants in here. We left him enough wire because we did go up the driver's side of the car. Radio's in the dash. Let's go take a look at it. All right, there you go, radio. Down here you have your HDMI and your USB. That's all put back together. This guy is done. Yeah, before I exit. All right, so a lot of you guys ask about this. Some of you guys are new to the channel. That's cool. This red thing here we put on to protect the steering wheel. This little socket right here, this is so we can protect the cool gear shifter because a lot of these gear shifters are either wood or leather or something like that. And you know, sometimes on the radio, we don't want to scratch this stuff, you know. These neoprene seat covers we put over and protect the seats. Because, you know, whether it's leather or cloth or whatever, we just want to make sure they stay safe while they're in our hands. All right, as I was getting ready to say, this guy is done. Fernando, we good? On to the next one.